Good afternoon to all of you. Unlike the morning session, we are going to have a very fruitful academic discussion in this session. When I say unlike the morning session, it doesn't mean that the morning session was not serious and not important. It was very critical for all of us. It was a very important session in the morning because we have traveled to think about an India which is inclusive, an India that belongs to all of us, and an India that is to be reclaimed in the contemporary situation. All kinds of political issues, the kind of otherization, Islamization, ghettoization, and the deprivation of the larger masses of people in India has been well pointed in the morning session. This session is an academic session. That's what I said, that is a very different session. So I therefore invite all of your concerns, all of your attention in a particular format. This is a very serious question that we need to address. And Professor Gopal Guru is a renowned political scientist in India, have talked lots about the questions of caste, the questions of cracked mirror, the questions of humiliation in a very significant manner. That was a very path-breaking kind of insights that Gopal Guru have contributed to Indian political science as well as the larger understanding of democratic India. We know that we need to really think about India in this context. We have a large number of struggles. We had farmer struggles. We have innumerable assertions of people from across various parts of India against the concentration of power at the center. Even then we all failed. The people, the rightist people, the right force also came into power. We need to think about why it happened. Though there are massive kinds of struggles on the street, in the parliament, and larger number of the politicization of the people, the lower caste people, the subalterns, they were all asserting against the rightist forces in India, but at the same time, the power remains the same. Why? We need to ask this very serious question. The answer is simple. That 1/5 of the Indian population, around 44 crores of Indian population, I think in more than that, have been treated as just as things, just as a kind of a property, just as something which do not have response. They don't have response. That's what these people of the larger people who stand at the power hierarchy think, that they have been seen as objects. The basket is widened now. Earlier it was Dalits, Adivasis, and other marginalized sections of Indian society. But now it is widened by incorporating the larger sections of minorities in India. We need to think really about this process, how this process becomes seeing people as objects, seeing people as things, and otherizing them for the betterment of the few. That is the Indian politics that we see today. So we need to really think about why people of India has been classified, why people of India has been segregated on the basis of caste, class, religion in a particular manner, and how this otherization, communalization process actually makes advantage for the rich to come to the power, or the rightist Hindutva forces to come to the power, and subvert all constitutional institutions. See, now it is very difficult for Gopal Guru, such a prominent academic, activist, theoretician, to enter into one of the premier institutions in India, like JNU or Hyderabad, in a free manner to speak truth to the people, to speak truth to the power. It's very difficult to walk over the universities now, especially in northern part of India. I'm not saying that something is better in Kerala also. No. We see that something is better in Kerala only at the surface level. We see some of the people, some of the prominent cultural figures ask Dalit women, who is she? When she raises some questions that, sir, you don't need to speak against the dignity of the human being, then the so-called cultural activists in Kerala say, or filmmakers say, who is she? I never heard her. So who is she means she is not being considered as human. She is not being considered as a citizen. She is not being considered as something very relevant to speak out. So the larger sections of India is being treated like this. You have been treated, we have been treated like things. Then the question of dignity, the question of ethical and political consumption of citizenship actually comes up in this context. There is an interesting word about politics. The word politics comes from the word aesthetics. What do we mean by aesthetics? Aesthetics means when somebody touches your body, you understand that somebody touching my body. When somebody pinches you, you really have pain, that I have pain. You realize the pain. But larger chunk of Indian people they are pitched, they are stripped, they are being brutally killed. But the larger system never feel that the pain. They never understand the pain. Why do they not understand? Why not they understand the pain of the larger masses of people? Then the question of real understanding of politics is about aestheticizing, politicizing people in a very significant way, in which people ask questions, in which people react, in which people respond and speak truth to the structures of power. Speak truth to the power. So ethical question or the political concepts of citizenship. If you give property to somebody, those who are landless, you give land. Those who are not having education, you give education. Those who are not have right to vote, you give vote. It doesn't mean that citizenship is acquired. Don't think that you have a vote, you have a voting power so that you are a citizen. No. Citizenship is much broader, larger idea. I think Gopal Guru will really take you into the world of this real questions of citizenship and equality, the question of dignity and so that. With these words, I invite Gopal Guru to have his deliberation. Thank you.